They didn't even bring it up. She makes the three and they don't even mention it. They didn't even mention it leading up to the game or talk about it.
What's the WNBA gonna think? What are the fans gonna think? What are my teammates gonna think? Like, I immediately felt like I was letting everybody down.
Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it?
What if I told you that Sheryl Swoopes and Angel Reese might be pulling strings behind the scenes in the WNBA? The basketball world is buzzing with rumors of a wild conspiracy. People are saying these two legends might have teamed up to get Teresa Weatherspoon fired from the Chicago Sky. But here's the thing, is there any truth to it, or is this just another case of drama gone wild? Ready for the first twist in this WNBA drama. It wasn't a heated argument or a controversial play that set things off. Instead, it was a seemingly innocent comment that sent shockwaves through the league. Who knew words of praise could cause such an uproar? It all started when Sheryl Swoopes, a true legend of women's basketball, decided to give a shout out to Caitlin Clark. Now, you might think, what's the big deal? Players compliment each other all the time. But this wasn't just any compliment. Swoopes went all out, praising Clark for bringing more attention and marketing to the WNBA.
I had tried out for some previous USA basketball teams, got cut just, for whatever reason, wasn't good enough. The talent around me was better.
I go pro and that's where I want to be. I want to reach the next level. I want to play in the WNBA, so those are my goals long term. Really allowed me to find another fire, and I think it just pushed me to work even harder and get better and want to prove.
That's some high praise coming from a legend like Swoopes. But here's where things get wild. This praise didn't happen in a vacuum. It came right after Teresa Weatherspoon got fired from the Chicago Sky. Talk about timing, right? Fans started putting two and two together, and before you know it, the rumor mill was working overtime. People were asking, why is Swoopes suddenly talking up Clark? Some fans thought it was more than just a nice gesture. They started wondering if Swoopes had her eye on Weatherspoon's old job. I mean, think about it. You're a basketball legend. A coach position opens up, and suddenly you're making headlines by praising one of the league's hottest new players. Coincidence? Maybe, but it sure got people talking. And it wasn't just the timing that raised eyebrows. Swoopes didn't stop at praising Clark. She also had a pretty interesting conversation with Angel Reese, another rising star in the league. During their chat, Swoopes got all excited about the idea of coaching Reese. She even said, "I'm just so proud of you." Now, that might seem like a normal thing for a veteran player to say to a newcomer, but remember the context. Weatherspoon's just lost her job, and here's Swoopes talking about coaching one of the league's most promising young players. This is where the conspiracy theories really took off. Fans started connecting dots faster than players move on the court.
How much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them.
College, I had teammates that were there with me for 4 years and were really comfortable playing with me, and then you come here and you have to learn your teammates in 2 weeks before you step on the court, and that can be really hard.
They were asking, is Swoopes trying to position herself as the next big coach? Is she using her status to influence the league's decisions? It's like a game of basketball chess, but instead of moving pieces on a board, we're talking about real careers and real lives. Now, let's be clear, we don't know for sure if there's any truth to these rumors, but in the world of professional sports, perception can be just as powerful as reality. Whether Swoopes meant to or not, her comment stirred up a hornet's nest of speculation and debate. And you know what's even crazier? This whole situation shows just how much weight words carry in the WNBA. A few compliments, a casual conversation about coaching, and boom, you've got a full-blown conspiracy theory on your hands. It's like every word and action is under a microscope, with fans and commentators analyzing every little detail. Now picture this, you're a rising star in the WNBA, and a legend offers to coach you. Exciting, right? But there's a catch. Your current coach just got fired. Suddenly that dream offer starts to look a whole lot messier. Is this the start of a new era or the spark of a league-wide controversy? That's exactly the situation Angel Reese found herself in.
But when I say mentally and emotionally draining, those are things that male athletes don't have to think about.
Both Caitlin, Angel, and Brink, who plays for my Sparks, they made the WNBA better. They're going to be tested.
Exceeded my expectations, for one, and exceeded a lot of people's expectations of what she could actually do during her rookie season.
Reese, the hot new talent in the WNBA, had a chat with Sheryl Swoopes that's got everyone talking. Swoopes, a true basketball icon, got all fired up about the idea of coaching Reese. She even said, "I'm just so proud of you." Now, that might sound like a normal conversation between a veteran and a rookie, but here's where it gets tricky. This chat happened right after Teresa Weatherspoon lost her coaching job with the Chicago Sky. Talk about bad timing. Reese has been pretty vocal about how much she admires Weatherspoon. She said things like, "I mean, I've had amazing coaches in my career, but this one is like special. She believes in me that I may not believe in myself." That's some serious praise. So imagine you're Teresa Weatherspoon. You just lost your job and now you're hearing about this conversation between Reese and Swoopes. How would you feel? It's like watching your star player chat up a potential new coach before your chair's even cold. That's gotta sting. This whole situation is like a game of chess, but with real people's careers on the line. On one side, you've got Reese's loyalty to Weatherspoon. On the other, there's the excitement of potentially being coached by a legend like Swoopes. It's a classic case of personal ambitions clashing with professional loyalties. The timing of all this? It's spooky. Weatherspoon's out, and suddenly Swoopes and Reese are talking about working together. Coincidence or conspiracy? That's what everyone's trying to figure out. Some fans think it's all part of a bigger plan. Others say it's just bad timing. Either way, it's stirring up a lot of drama in the WNBA world. This isn't just about a coaching change anymore. It's about the whole dynamic of the league.
How do you not give the credit to Caitlin Clark of making a beautiful, beyond half-court pass?
When you talk about greats in this game, you know, the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and the Steph Currys, like they are putting her in that category, the Diana Taurasi's.
These rookies have put on quite a season, and it's not just Caitlin and Angel, Rickea Jackson and other rookies are killing it this year.
You've got legends like Swoopes, rising stars like Reese, and respected coaches like Weatherspoon all caught up in this whirlwind. It's showing us just how complex and interconnected the WNBA really is. And you know what's wild? This whole situation is playing out in public. Every word, every interaction is under the spotlight. It's like the WNBA is a reality show, and we're all glued to our screens waiting to see what happens next. But here's the thing, we don't know for sure what's really going on behind the scenes. Maybe Swoopes was just being friendly. Maybe Reese was just excited about the idea of learning from a legend. Or maybe there's more to it than meets the eye. That's the thing about professional sports. There's always more going on than what we see on the court. You think this drama is just about coaching? Think again. There's a whole other layer that's got people talking. The WNBA is facing some serious issues right now, and it's not just about who's calling the shots from the sidelines. We're talking about race, equity, and the kind of star power that can shake up an entire league. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture.
She's a senior.
There you go.
She's a senior, but I think her COVID year was last year.
For the first time since 2016, this team has clinched a playoff spot. You guys learned about it last night.
Caitlin was throwing the ball away 10 times a game, and I feel like maybe that's the only thing holding her back.
The WNBA isn't just dealing with coaching changes and player dynamics. There's a whole conversation happening about race and fairness in the league. It's like trying to juggle while riding a unicycle. Tricky doesn't even begin to cover it. Now, throw Caitlin Clark into the mix. Her popularity is off the charts, but it's causing some serious heat. Clark's been grabbing headlines left and right, and not everyone's happy about it. Some folks are saying there's a racial undertone to how she's being promoted compared to other players in the league. Jason Whitlock, never one to shy away from controversy, has jumped into the fray. He's pointing fingers at the WNBA, saying they're playing favorites based on race. Whitlock claims that the league's focus on promoting players like A'ja Wilson over Caitlin Clark is all about racial equity and identity politics. He even went as far as saying Nike won't even put out a Caitlin Clark commercial because they must bow to the angry black feminist. The whole identity politics movement. But hold on, it's not just Whitlock stirring the pot. Brittany Griner, one of the WNBA's biggest stars, is calling for action too. She's not happy with the negative comments players are getting, especially when it comes to race and gender. Griner's demanding the league step up and create a safe environment for everyone. She said, "I don't think it's right. Making a statement, making a stand. We all deserve to play in a safe environment." So now, we're not just talking about a coaching change, we're looking at a league that's trying to balance star power, diversity, and fairness all at once.
I think the league is in a really good place right now. I think we're headed in the right direction, but I also think we have a long ways to go.
So people say, all of a sudden, I'm now interested in something I wasn't before. Look at the attendance, look at the viewership. And then they watch the games, and she's constantly being abused. She was stabbed in the eye last night.
I think more than anything, it's like surprising, like you guys didn't know, like this is how women's sports are played. Like, come on.
It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. You've got rising stars like Clark and Reese, legends like Swoopes, and the league itself all caught in this whirlwind of expectations and controversy. This whole situation is showing us just how complex the WNBA really is. It's not just about what happens on the court anymore. Every decision, every comment, every bit of praise or criticism is under the microscope. Fans are watching, players are speaking out, and the league is trying to figure out how to move forward without leaving anyone behind. And you know what's wild? This controversy is happening at a time when the WNBA is getting more attention than ever. More fans are tuning in, more brands are getting involved, and the level of play is through the roof. But with all that spotlight comes more scrutiny. Every move the league makes is being analyzed from all angles. It's like the WNBA is going through growing pains. They're trying to promote new stars without alienating veteran players. They're aiming for diversity while also showcasing talent regardless of race. And they're doing all this while trying to grow the game and keep fans excited. Talk about a tough balancing act. This whole situation with Swoopes, Teresa, and Weatherspoon, it might have started as a simple coaching drama, but it's blown up into something much bigger. It's become a symbol of all the challenges the WNBA is facing right now. Race, star power, fairness. It's all tangled up in this one story. Let's recap this wild ride in the WNBA. We've seen Swoopes praising Clark, Reese caught between loyalty and ambition, and Weatherspoon out of a job. But this drama isn't just about them. It's about a league trying to figure itself out. The WNBA is at a crossroads. They're dealing with star power, racial issues, and growing pains all at once. It's like they're trying to shoot a three-pointer while riding a unicycle. Not easy. Here's the real deal. This controversy shows how complex the WNBA has become. Every move, every word is under a microscope. It's not just about what happens on the court anymore. So next time you see WNBA news, remember there's always more to the story. Keep watching, keep asking questions. Who knows? Maybe we'll all figure this out together.